Were you in the last year of your contract then, heading into it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. So that was when, at Christmas then, I went up and signed for Hibs. Neil Lennon came in, travelled up there.
He was still keen then, Neil Lennon, from that time that he watched you.
Oh, yeah, but don't forget... Yeah, don't forget, Hibs now are in the Championship.
Yeah.
So he knew, obviously, I've been playing in the Championship in England, which is obviously 10 times there. And he knew that it's not like I've been playing at a low standard. And he knew me from Motherwell, seen all the things that I'd achieved at Preston. So it was to him, it was a no-brainer to try and get me in there. And again, another big thing that got me there was Holty. Holty was at Hibs.
All right, yeah, of course, yeah.
So he'd said to Lennon, "Oh, you need to get him in, man. He'll really help us." So I ended up going up there, training with them, and then Lennon started me on my debut for Dundee, and I got 2 assists in the first. Dundee and Hibs were fighting for that number 1 spot that season. Went up there, played in the first game, got 2 assists. In the first half, blew up second half because obviously I hadn't played a lot of football. And then my career kind of kicked off there with Hibs, but then I ended up about 2 months later getting a bad injury, pulling my Achilles. So I was out for another 3 months there. And then just caught the back end of that season of the champ, and we got promoted with Hibs as well.
And was there an opportunity to stay on there, or did
no, nothing came about it there.
No,
nothing came about it. And then kind of after that, my career kind of fizzled out because I kind of fell out of love in playing. I'd had my broken shin. I'd just come back from that, and I pulled this and that, and my head was all over the place. I thought to myself, I'm just going to keep getting injuries. And I was a person that I always said to myself, if I don't love the game anymore, I'll stop. I'm in it to play for the love of the game, nothing else. Yeah. And I ended up going to Bury under Lee Clark. It was probably one of the worst things I did. They ended up getting relegated. And that was the beginning of Bury's downfall, when they've gone bankrupt and all that sort of stuff. So it was just a horrible season for me, a horrible year football-wise. And then I just said to myself at the end of that season, look, that's me done. I'm going to call it, because my shin was still really, really hurting me. It never really recovered. It didn't have the time to recover. That makes sense.
Do you regret playing on through that shin injury in the promotion season?
Everybody asked this question, but like I say, I was never in football for the money and stuff like that. So 10% can say, yes, I regret it, because I'd probably still be playing now if I'd have got the op earlier and I'd have got longer rest and all that. But the other 90% of me says no, because I know I ran through brick walls for Simon that season. We got promotion. My job was done. Yes, okay, that might have been the thing that ended your career because you played on, but
it was also the best thing.
That was my mentality. My mentality was, and you have to learn this as a young player growing up. You don't play with you got to learn to play with niggles and stuff. And my mentality was I trained my brain and had to, from an early age, to play through pain. So I used to, even though it was really, really killing me that season, I just carried on. I don't know how I did it, but I just did it and did it and did it and kept on doing it. And obviously I made it 10 times worse, but it's just one of those things where it's, it was difficult. It was tough. Yeah, it was tough.
At what point was it when you thought, I need to retire? I'm done here. I just can't really play full time anymore. Was there a moment, either in training or a match, that you realised?
Yeah, it was just at the end of that season with Bury. Really, it was just at the end of that season. I didn't play very much. My shin was still killing me. I think that was the end point for me. That the fact that my shin was really, really hurting, and it didn't seem like it was getting better. Because it hadn't had any rest. So I just thought to myself, you know what? I need to rest this shin. I need to call it. And obviously, then when my shin was better, I'd been out too long. If that makes sense, and my fitness and everything like that, and it would have just took so much effort to get fit, and I didn't have the drive or the willpower, like get up and right, I'm going to go out and do a 6-mile run or get really fit today, or all this constantly. I'm not in a football club either, whereas when you're in the football club, you've got people pushing you to do it. Yeah. So I just didn't have that, and I just thought, and I always said, once I lose that, then that's it for me. And that's kind of what happened.
You still wanted to, I know you had a couple of brief spells, didn't you, in Scotland, and a few part-time clubs. Was that just to just help mates out, or just for a bit of fun, basically, just to keep yourself going at that stage?
Well, at that stage now, the money that they were offering, it was a no-brainer. Machine was better. It was a no-brainer. I'm never going to go full-time again. And the money that they were offering and alongside work, it was worth it. And especially when I went up to Kelty Hearts, they also offered me a van as well with a petrol card. So I wasn't even spending money on petrol. So the money I was getting from them was just money going in the bank. So for me, it was just that. And I'm glad I did those things. So I met some unbelievable people. I played under Barry Ferguson, who's a legend up there. And I really enjoyed it. And I learned a lot of him. Then going towards a coaching side of things, how it can be done at a part-time club. And I've kind of took some of his ideas in with me at Kendal, because he was running it like a full-time club. Yeah. When they were only part-time.
Did you always have an eye on going into coaching, or was it just something that?
No, I didn't. It was something that, when I retired, the 16s offered me, asked me if I'd come down and take some sessions, which I think they do with most Preston, most ex-players. So I went down just to make a guest appearance and take coaching and stuff. When I left, I actually really, really loved it, really enjoyed it. And I said to her, this is when I come in, I can picture myself doing this. It wasn't to even manage, just to do something like that, these 16s, 15s, 14s, just to coach. I enjoyed that. And then it kind of went from there. I kind of did more coaching, and I did the 16s for quite a while. And then obviously when I went up to East Kilbride to play, that Gretna job came about, and it was a few of the players that were at East Kilbride that kind of said, you know what, why don't you go for that? Because you'd be really good. And then I ended up going for it and getting it. And once I started managing, then it just went to the love of that side of it. Just went to another level. I loved it. I was thinking, this is something that I can see myself doing forever.
What is it particularly about it that you're loving? What aspect are you enjoying the most?
Well, up there, I didn't really get a chance to implement everything that I'm about and into the football club. But since being at Kendal and the chairman's given me, full reign of everything there, it's been amazing. And I've been able to implement everything that I want to. And it's not even cost anything, because it was never about cost. It was just how I wanted to run a football club. Yeah. So it's run like a full-time football club. We're privileged to have a sports scientist on board. We're privileged to have a video analysis person on board, all these sort of stuff. And then my level of coaching goes to another level, because now I'm watching us play and I'm, diagnosing things that are going on and analysing and everything like that. So now I'm learning on that basis. I'm heavily involved in decisions, with the board decision stuff. Chairman always comes to me for advice and stuff. So I'm learning stuff on that side of it. And, it's just amazing. I'm just little things like when I was a player and I wasn't playing, I'd be annoyed. And you've got to now, as a manager, deal with those kind of things. And I think that's why I say when managers take those big jobs too early without that experience, that's kind of why they fail. Because if I would have just walked into a league club, League One, League Two, and had to deal with these big egos and stuff, I don't think I would have been able to. You don't know how to deal with it, do you? But because I'm dealing with it week in, week out here, not saying that my players have got egos, but obviously if you're not playing, you want to play at that level, or you want to go somewhere else and play, and you've got to deal with that, and then you've got to bring them back on, and then you've got to manage them right, and all those kind of things. I'm learning, and I've been very fortunate as well, and I'd like to think that that's because of the relationship we had and the sort of person I am, and obviously he feels that I am a good manager, but Simon's been down a lot. Before he got that Fleetwood job, he was
Yeah,
coming here
I
every
read
week
he was helping you out or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he was down near enough every week. He took a training session. Then I had to isolate with someone at my work having COVID, so I had to isolate because I'd been around her. He ended up taking one of the games, so he was manager for the day at the game instead of me. Then he was been down to watch like 3-4 games after that, but he wouldn't do that if he didn't. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't put his neck on the line to take a game, and come down and see it. So I've been very fortunate to be picking his brains and stuff like that. And I spoke to him recently and asked him if I could meet up with him and have a chat and really discuss, because 3-5-2 is something that obviously I played for 4 years with him, and it's a formation that I'm going to look at for next season and stuff. And I just asked him if I could pick his brain on this and see what he thought about it and how he does so well with it, because he's been so successful with that formation. And he's like, yeah, whenever you want, just let me sort these games out first, come down. So, the relationship is still strong, even though, we hardly see each other, or he's doing his thing and I'm doing mine. But, like I say, I'm so fortunate that I've got these kind of people to ask advice. And I'm very close with Owen Coyle as well. So, he's someone that I could pick the phone up to and ask for advice. So, and Darren Moore now at Sheffield Wednesday, played with him at West Brom, and we've still been very close. So these are sort of managers that I'm very privileged to be able to speak to and get advice off and stuff like that. So I am in a privileged place.
Definitely, it's good to get their guidance and have their experience to lean on. Obviously, it's been a disrupted season, 2 seasons because of COVID. Has that annoyed you? Is it giving you more time to actually make plans for the future, or how's it been the last year or so since you signed?
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's been probably the biggest learning curve for me, and I've humbled it, because, like I've said to a few people that I speak to, when does a manager have this much time to plan things, to look at players? And once we're out of COVID again, you're going to have millions of players that are going to be unavailable because they haven't been able to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you're going to have top players for the level that I'm at that probably shouldn't be playing that level, should be playing way higher, but can't get in anywhere.
Yeah.
Because of COVID bubbles or stuff like that, the teams will probably carry on. And they've got to go somewhere, or they're going to just fall out the game. So I'm just looking forward to that prospect of having them, getting players in like that, having a look at and maybe potentially signing for our team next season. I think it's an exciting time. I've had so much time to work on stuff to make the club better. I've had so much time to think of formations, to think of how I can improve us, to think of everything has been going through this in the last year. Games that we can get, maybe pre-season good ones, and all that kind of stuff. And I've really enjoyed planning and sitting down with Zooming with the sports scientist and my assistant. We've had millions of Zooms and hours and hours of chats and all that, and we've finally come with a program and everything for the lads. And it's they have said it's like a full-time thing, and I'm just excited to see what we'll look like when this first game next season with all this stuff that we've put together. So for me, it's not one where I've moaned about it. It's one I've embraced, because we'll probably never get this again. So this has probably been the most, I think, even though we've not been playing, it's the most that I've learned. And probably I wouldn't have learned. I probably wouldn't have learned this much if we were playing. Or if we were still if the league was still going on. Yes, okay, you would have learned because it was games, but I wouldn't have been able to sit and actually read things and speak to people and learn that side of it. So, and again, I've just a month back I completed my B license as well, because I've had time and we've been doing it over Zoom and everything like that. And if I was playing, I wouldn't have had as much time to do it. So that's a blessing in disguise as well. So that's obviously helps me going forward with the B license. And then I probably have another season of experience on the B license. And then at the end of next season, I'll probably go for my A license.
So what does the future hold for you? Where do you see your next 5 years progressing as a coach? Are you happy at the local non-league level you're at, or do you see yourself in the Football League in the future as a coach or a manager?
Oh, definitely. My ambition is to go and manage in the Premiership. What's the point if you don't aim high? You've got to aim high. I aimed high in my career, and and still to this day, it hurts me that I didn't even have one appearance Prem. Played in every league in England from the conference up, just not that one. So for me, obviously, I aim high is to do that, and one day is to also, manage my national team, Jamaica, as well. You've got to aim high, you've got to aim big. But for me, at the minute, I'm 33, so I'm 34 in September. I'm very, very young, and for me, it's just about getting experience. So for me, there's no rush to move on from Kendal. They're at a great, great level. Unbelievable talent in this league, to be honest. I didn't expect
surprised you a bit.
The competition and the level of what it is to be where it's at. So it's an unbelievable way of learning for me. There's no need to rush off. 5th place is playoff spot in our league. They finished second from bottom last season. Obviously, with all this COVID and stuff, we finished 11th this season. So to then go and finish 8th, 7th maybe next is another step forward for us. And then the year after, try and get into that 5th spot. And then if we don't go up there, and then the year after, trying to progress the club. And there's no rush for me to go. Like I say, I'm 33. I reckon I could stay there for the next 3 or 4 years and get vital experience, get up to my A licence badge at least while I'm there. And then maybe maybe I'll be in a better place to then, say, for instance, if a Barrow job came up or a Carlisle or something like that were in the football leagues came about, then you'd have a better chance of getting it, because then all of a sudden I'll have 3 years, 4 years experience. I'll have an A licence behind me. I've played the game and all that sort of stuff to go alongside it. But I want to do it the right way. I'm not one of these managers that just want to rush through my badges and rush up the leagues, because I want to make sure that whenever it is, whether it be in 3 years, a year, 10 years, I do get that opportunity to go and manage a good club. I don't want to be inexperienced where I struggle to do it. I want to be able to embrace it and take it head on, and I'm physically ready for it. So that's my plan.
Would you consider, say, a year or two if Simon Grayson's at whatever club, let's say he stays at Fleetwood and he wants you to come and work in some capacity there, would you be happy to do that in the back team role, or do you want to stay as manager for the full season?
Well, my chairman actually asked me that when he got the Fleetwood job, because obviously I think he was a bit worried that he might have done that, and I was saying to him, look, there's no way he's going to ask me to go with him because I'm not experienced enough to do that. Don't forget, this is like probably one of his last chances of successful, because he got let go at Bradford and also Blackpool. So to go there, he needed to do well. So he needed someone with him that's highly experienced. But like I said to him, it would be a very difficult decision to if he ever asked me to go there. I think it'd be stupid of me not to really say, yeah, of course, because to go and learn off him for a couple of years or however long it is, it's like I say, it's about the experience. It's not about me, if that makes sense. So it wouldn't be about, well, I want to be manager. If a top manager is asking me, look, will you come in and be my assistant or be my first team coach, or even could you come in and be the A-teams manager or youth team manager? It'd be silly. It would be silly not to think about that kind of thing, because it would be experience for me. It would be an opportunity for me to shine at that level. So, if opportunities come, it's definitely something you have to think about. But like I've said, there's no rush. There's no rush for me to go out there and look for things, because I'm in a blessed place at the minute. I'm enjoying it, and I look forward every day to when training's back and stuff.
And you touched on Jamaica before. Obviously, you picked up a few caps in your career. How was that? Obviously, a special moment to represent on the international stage. How do you look back on that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Look, to play for your country, I think it's unbelievable. It really is. It's an unbelievable feeling. And when you go out there and you're standing there and your national anthem's played and all that kind of stuff, it's surreal. It really is surreal. And to play the players that I've played with me, like Wes Morgan, has won the Premiership. Mariappa in the Premiership, Michael Hector Premiership. Like there's so many good players that I played with. So it's I've loved it. I loved playing for Jamaica, and like I say, hopefully one day I can maybe manage them.
That'd be class. And yeah, just wrap it up. Then, have you still obviously still local? Are you still go and watch Preston now and again, or have you still got good contacts at North End?
Yeah, I'd like to think that I'm very close with the chairman. We actually took, I don't know if you saw it, we took Jacob Wilson from the youth team.
Oh yeah, Holland Wilkinson, yeah.
Holland Wilson, yeah, we took him up to us. And I did that through the chairman. I went in, saw the chairman before the COVID and said, look, this is when I first got the job. I'd like to take some players, if that's possible, give him a chance. He actually came up to us, played 4 games, did really, really well. Didn't score, but did well. Lancaster came in for him, the league above. He went there for 2 games or 3 games, scored 2 goals, and you can see him on the Preston bench now most of the time. So it does work for these young lads. So the relationship that I've got with Preston, I'd like to think is very, very strong. I don't know Alex Neil personally, so it's more the chairman that I deal with if I wanted anything. So I'd like to think that we're still close. And like I say, all the clubs I've been at, I haven't left in malice. I haven't left in a bad way, because you learn that in football. Football's a big, one of the biggest sports in the world, and word travels fast. If you're a bad guy, or if you leave a club in a bad way, someone knows someone. So I've always learned that you never leave in a bad way, which I've never really had to at any of the clubs. And all the clubs I've been at, I've always said, if you need anything, please get in touch. So I'll definitely be using that whenever I can.
Yeah, make the most of it. And how about the players? Like, obviously, from your time, still got DJ, Huntington, Galley. Are you still in touch with them? Like, still keep up to date?
I wouldn't say that we speak. This is the thing that happens in football. Really, you only have 2 or 3 not real, but absolute friends like Jermaine and Ian. Like Jermaine and Hume are mine. But I know that if I was to pick up the phone to anyone that was in the squad that I was there when I was there, would pick up and it'd be like you spoke to them yesterday, or if you needed anything, they'd be there for you. So I know if I picked up the phone to DJ or text him, or Callum, who, to be fair, I do speak to still, Callum, Hunts, any of them, I could just meet them and they'd meet me and we'd chat. So, yeah, and I think that's the beauty of the squad that we had. I think that they were just full of nice guys and kind-hearted guys. And so, yeah, and am I surprised to still see Hunts and DJ and all those there? No, because they're amazing. Am I surprised to see Ben Davies move and get his move? No, because he's probably been the best centre-back in the champ for years, for a couple of years at least. Am I gutted that it was Liverpool he's gone to? Yeah, I'd have liked to see him go to all right, not just because I support them or anything, but a Baggies or a Crystal Palace or something like that, where he's actually going to get a goal, get a game. Yeah, because even though I see all these injuries at Liverpool, he's still not getting a chance. And the thing is, I think that Ben can actually handle it as well.
Definitely,
because he's a ball-playing defender. Yeah, I think that he could more than handle it. So I don't know why he's not getting that chance, or people are starting up in front of him and then letting goals in. Doesn't make sense, but. Yeah, like I say, it was them, yeah. I'd like to have seen him go to not a lesser team in the Prem, but an actual team where he'd get a chance. But we'll see. Hopefully he does get his chance. But am I surprised to see these guys? No, not at all, because they're top players and they deserve everything they get.
And how do you think? Obviously, it's been a weird season with no fans and whatever. But how do you think Preston are doing under Alex Neil? Have you kept an eye on maybe the games or the progress? And how do you see the current displays at the moment?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, I used to go to quite a lot of games, to be honest, before the COVID, home games and stuff. I used to go down and watch quite a lot before I was at Kendal. And they do play a lot better football-wise than we did. But I just think they leak a lot more goals than we did.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to get that happy medium, isn't it? And finally, I've been saying it for years, but finally they've gone out and got that champ striker. Like Ched Evans is a championship striker, is a striker that gets goals. Because I don't think, is your Jermaine Beckford? No, but you won't find many of them about. And I don't think that, I say we because I still support the football club, but I don't think that we ever replaced Jermaine.
No.
I don't think we ever replaced Garns, to be honest.
No, not really.
And that's where people should realise like how good Garns actually was. I don't think we replaced either of them. Yes, okay, Jordan Hugill did replace Garns, I think. He was excellent for us, that kind of striker, but he then went and we've never really replaced them. And I think Ched Evans now is someone that can go and score us goals. It's just, I think we just need to be a bit more solid.
Yeah, Ched Evans has definitely surprised the fans. I think looking at his football pedigree in the last couple of years, he didn't light up League One for Fleetwood. He did all right. And I think coming in at, I think he's 32, same age as yourself, like similar. We were thinking, is he going to be good at this level? But he's surprised a lot of people. But
the one that surprised me, I think, was when you brought what's his name back, the older striker. What's his?
Oh, David Nugent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that surprised me a little bit. Unless it was
the fans, I don't know.
Yeah, I think not even that. Unless it was, he just felt that. Because if you do look at Preston's team, they are very young. Apart from your DJs and your Huntingtons and maybe Brown, it is a very young squad. And maybe he looked at it and just thought we just need someone around. Yeah. Because sometimes when you bring in that figurehead, like they did with Kevin Davis, he didn't really play much, but people looked up to him, and his experience and the way he spoke and stuff. So sometimes managers do that, and sometimes it can work. But at the time, I just thought you needed a striker in that would score goals. And because obviously we know how much money the owner's actually worth, like I've been saying for years, go and get Gale in. He never plays for Newcastle. Do you know what I mean?
I love him.
Yeah, okay, it's going to cost you.
He gets goals,
Yeah, he's going to cost you a stupid amount of money, but it's like they don't want to go up, if that makes sense. That kind of mentality, we'll never go down, but that will do me.
Yeah, like, you need more ambition.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to just see, not ambition, I think that obviously meeting the chairman, not Risdale,
Hemmings.
Yeah, Hemmings, meeting him and being around him and stuff. He is a very ambitious guy. And he will, and don't get me wrong when I say it, he does put his money in the pocket for the football club, like with your new training ground and everything like that, and bringing them out of debt and all that kind of stuff he has. But I just think that Preston is ready to go to that next level. They've been a secure championship club for 3-4 years now, and they're ready to now go, put a bit of money into it, strengthen that side, bring in some top quality strikers. And you're ready to go and challenge because you've been that close every year.
Yeah.
And I think you've been so unlucky, because you always seem to get injuries like around Christmas time to key players. And then you never then those players come back, but they never have enough time to get back there to go again. And you lose too many points while they're injured, is what I've found looking from the outside. So
it's always just been like one or two players, one or two key moments to take us to the next level. And when you see other clubs like Burnley, fairly comfortable Premier League club, there's no reason why we can't do that. There's not much difference between us and Burnley from 5 years ago. So,
and if you ever got into that Prem, he'd have the money to spend as well.
Yeah. One day.
I'd love to see it, though. I'd love to see it. I really would.
Hopefully soon. just last point then on obviously Callum Robinson. Obviously, you're a
Yeah.
teammate, and now he's at the Baggies. How do you? Did he get in touch with you like before he went to West Brom? Did he ask you about it?
No, it's one of them. He was already in the Prem, so it was a great move
Yeah.
for him. Like, I was buzzing for him when he went to Sheffield United, to be honest.
Yeah,
He deserves it. He deserves it. He works hard. You know,
top player.
people look at him as this jokey guy, funny guy, but he is an absolute workaholic. Like, in the gym all the time, out stays hours doing extra. So, you know, he's put the work in to get where he is, and he bangs goals. Championship,
Yeah.
he bangs goals week in, week out. So he deserved his move. Didn't quite work out for him at Sheffield United.
Wrong formation for him, wasn't it? Really?
Exactly. I don't like him up front. I think he's an amazing left winger.
Yeah, definitely.
And coming into Baggies, obviously Sam's come in and he's had to change it a little bit, and he's brought in this new striker that I think's good.
He's decent, to be fair.
Yeah, and I don't know if Callum's Sam's sort of player, because he's a flair player, and I don't know really if Sam wants that. Do you know what I mean? He's more like wingers, track back and solid shape and stuff, and that's not really Callum. So I don't know if he'll move on again. But listen, he deserves everything. He deserves to be in the Prem. He's a top player, and he's an unbelievable lad as well. And I've got a lot of time for him. And like I say, I'm in more contact with him than anyone else. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he always seemed it. It was nice to watch him progress. Obviously, when he first came to North End on loan from Villa, he was a young kid, and you know he wasn't a finished article. But to watch him develop, and then that last season with us, he was unbelievable. And that was one of the times that we got an injury to him at Christmas. It knocked us back a bit. But yeah, one hell of a player. So
great player.
Yeah, that's about it then, Chris. I've time's flown. I've really enjoyed speaking to you.
No, it's fine.
Good luck at Kendal. Obviously, I don't know if you know a bit about the website, but we try and help out a lot of free agents and stuff that come out of academies and just need that boost. Like, do a few interviews with them, or just put a few videos out on Twitter and stuff. And it's led to quite a bit. So, you know, if you ever, at whatever stage how football progresses in the next few months, if you ever need a few local players for trials or whatever, then just give us a shout. I'll be happy.
Listen, like I say, especially now, because we're going to have thousands of games coming up. I just want the lads to enjoy themselves till the end of the season. And then we'll reassess the squad and people will go and new people will come in. It's just football. But if you do know any players that have come out of the academy or that are looking to just for a game, please let me know, because we are always looking. Like I just said to you in this, we're always looking. Why not? It'd be silly not to look at. I'll look at 1,000 players in the next 2 months. You know, it'd be silly not to. Because there'll be.
Are you still playing loads of games then? Just like behind. We
will do from. We're allowed to play from the 30th, I think it is. So our first game is the 8th of April. Now we've made a tournament with like 9 other teams in around Kendal. So there's loads of games, and Simon's hopefully going to allow us to play the reserves at ours and stuff like that. So there's going to be loads and loads of games. So I'm just going to look at loads and loads of players. Why not?
No harm, is there?
Yeah. Like I say, there's going to be some absolute steals, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ever need it, know of anyone, just definitely give me a text and
we'll know
have a look.
If you need a particular position or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a think about it.
Really
good stuff. If you could, do you reckon Ian Hume might be up for a chat?
He's in Canada now, but I can definitely let me give him a text and speak to him. And if he lets me give you his number, then I can't see why he wouldn't. He does do stuff like this.
Yeah. So
I can't see why not. And I'll tell him I've been on it, so it's a trusted thing. So I think and he knows Kirky as well. So I think it'd be good.
Top man, brilliant. Well, I'll let you get back to father duties then. Give your missus a bit of a rest for the last bit of Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for your time, Chris, and we'll keep in touch.
No, okay. Thank you very much. You got my number now, so anytime you need anything, just let me know.
Perfect. Appreciate that. Speak soon then. Cheers, mate.
See you later. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.